Gather round, everyone, and witness the debonair devastation of such exquisite sophistication. Mike Stubbsy, Greg Hill, the Vord podcasters. Insert shit piano music. Hello, everyone. This is the GodisaGeek podcast. I am Dan Murphy, and as you just heard, that is Mike, that is Greg. We are back once again, and we're going to try and span one game and a couple of other week topics over an hour, which should be fun. Greg, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm getting on with my life, as always.
How are the exams treating you?
Fine, that's me finished now, so I'm just enjoying my life as it goes on. I have no exams, I just can lie and just watch anime all the time, so doesn't get much better than that.
I suppose it doesn't. And Stubbsy, how's the...
That was incredible. That was better than I thought it would be. I thought you'd fuck it up, to be totally honest. But
I was nearly on. I was on the edge, and I said Devoneer. I was like, and then I had to go into Devastation. I was like, I nearly did it, but I kept strong.
Yeah, that was very good.
Thank you. It was a good suggestion. How are things since last week?
Things are okay. Things have been very busy in the land of Mike Subsea, but getting on with it.
Not long till we're jetting off via Ethiopian Airlines to the good old city.
That's true.
Oh mate, I've still got 3 exams to go then, and I haven't started revising yet because we've been reviewing an old game for this site. And Subsy, it's only Overwatch. It's finally out after only been talking about it for the past 4 weeks, or whatever. Overwatch is finally out, and yes, this is the one game we have to discuss for the hour. So buckle in, everybody.
I haven't even fucking played it, so that's a bit laugh.
Well, that's unfortunate for you, then, isn't it, Greg?
That is so.
Stubbsy, it's finally out in the wild. What do we reckon?
People aren't dickheads in the final version.
They're not.
I've
I'm
been amazed.
Yep, I'm quite happy. Well, mostly they've started to reappear again. Like, I was on Ilios, the Greek map, which I quite like. Actually, it's probably one of my favourite maps. But there was this cunt, and he was called Ross Power. That was his PSN. So go on and abuse him for me. And basically, right, he was never getting involved in any of the objectives. He was either being Hanzo or Genji or Widowmaker, and he was always like on a roof or away from the objective and not actually participating, and he wasn't actually doing any killing as well. That would have let that slide, and it was the worst Torbjorn I've ever seen in my life. I'm annoyed with myself, Stubbsy, because I've become one of those people that moans at everyone being noobs. And,
that's how you're meant to do it. That's the correct path.
It is, but man, it was. How have you found it with other people at this point?
PC's actually been really good. I don't know if it was just because everyone in the beta was a dickhead and I played on console. But on PC, it's been weird. I've actually had to play damage dealers because people aren't playing damage dealers. I think games have probably been a 50-50 split where I've either played someone who does a lot of damage or someone who is a tank or a support. It's a lot more even, the distribution of characters that people are picking than what was in the beta, where everyone would be Tracer.
I think the point of the beta is that every player who didn't really understand it or anything was getting it, and the people who followed through to get it are more likely to play it properly.
Yeah. It also helps that I'm on PC, the Master Race, whereas I played the beta on console with all the noobs. So.
Sure, it was fun. And you wish you could be on console with me, because I'm just a don.
Yeah, you weird console people.
To be fair, I'm getting pretty good at Tracer now. You smashed me for being a noob with her, but I'm getting the hang of it now.
I told you, as soon as you realise how to play it and it's all about movement, then she's really quite strong.
Her ultimate is shite, though. Let's be honest.
It's shite unless you can stick it to an enemy.
Yeah.
And then if you stick it to them and they run into other people or it's quite crowded, then it becomes really strong.
It does, but that rarely ever happens.
See, really. If you the best way of doing it is to make sure you have 3 blinks.
Yeah,
and
zoom in, then get out.
Blink in, stick, and then E out. Or I don't know what it is on console, but
definitely. But I agree. But I feel like whenever I've tried to do that, most of the time I just end up fucking being disorientated when I get out of the blink and just end up throwing it onto a wall and just getting myself killed. So obviously I still need to get a hang of the running in that regard.
If that happens, then you should just E out, not use it, and wait.
Yeah, but I've already used it, and then it's too late.
Right.
I've not got the reactions.
I see a lot of people with quite a lot of characters. Like, I was playing with one of my friends who like didn't play the beta or anything. They just sort of picked it up on a whim, and they were like, they kind of, I don't know why, because they're a Dota player, but they treated it like, oh, I've got my ultimate, I need to use it straight away, which 100% isn't the case. Like,
use it tactically.
You usually should hold your ultimate for an advantageous situation, which like is rule number 1 in Dota. So why they didn't get that, I don't know, but that was kind of weird.
You save it for the situations where you've got to run into, going for the objectives or pushing, or like I think with Widowmaker, you use it straight away, recon, and you can recharge it again. There's a couple where you use it straight away.
Kind of depends where you are though, because like, if you're in a shit situation or you've just picked off like 4 of their team, then don't use it straight away because they're going to be respawning. Yeah. So wait Obviously. A little bit, but yeah, like Widowmaker is almost use instantly.
I was actually playing earlier. I was on Route 66, which I had no idea. Was that not in the beta, or did that just not come up in any game I played?
I don't know. It might
same
not.
Same with Ilios, same with Nepal. I never saw any of those in the beta.
No, Nepal, I think was, or at least I played that before. I think. Yeah, I don't think Route 66 was. I think that might be new, but the rest possibly were. Don't quote me on that though.
I was on that as Widowmaker using the sniper, and I never usually use snipers because I don't know. I don't like there's being zoomed in because it's not good spatial awareness type stuff. But there was a bastard Torbjorn on a bridge, and I was like, right, it's that bastard's going down. So I just got the sniper, took it out, and then I actually started being pretty good with it. I was quite surprised. So it is good, like how you can suddenly, like characters you were really enjoying can just go to shit for you, and then other characters out of nowhere can suddenly be really good for you. It's a weird one. I wouldn't say I like that many of the 21 characters as well. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? It's weird, but then the 3, you get an arsenal of like 3, one in each different class that you do like, and then you can just, like, when a situation calls for it, use them.
See, I think over time you become more accustomed to characters, because like, I have at least, like, attack. I'm getting better at Genji, but I don't particularly like him. I don't like McCree, but the rest I'm more comfortable with. Defense, I would say, like, Bart Torbjorn, I like most of them. Tanks, apart, Zayara, whatever she's called, don't like her, but, and then supports, I can play all of them. So, like, for me, there's only a few that I don't feel that comfortable playing. So I think with more time, you'll get to the stage where you're just like, yeah, fuck it. Yeah. The situation calls for this, I'll do this.
Yeah, I don't like Reinhardt, but when you need to push on a payload, I become Reinhardt. Even though nobody else is doing it, I'll take the blunt. I'm not asked about getting loads of deaths, I'm not asked about ratio. I'll be the one who just goes straight to the front and tries to push it forward when everyone else is staying back. That's the problem, like, people want, like, they never, I see, like, whilst people might be playing for their objectives, they're scared of dying, so they'd rather stay back and try and get kills instead of just getting in amongst it and pushing for the objective. When that's not the point of the game.
Although I think it's quite difficult without proper team comms to sort of convey when you specifically want to go in.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I've tried talking with teams on the actual game, but no one ever responds apart from, unless it's bloody guys who speak a language I can't even recognise. And then, I feel like even if you play with one friend and you can talk with one person, it becomes 100% a better game straight away because you have just that little bit of coordination. It's like, Anubis. Anubis is one of the hardest maps to attack, would you say?
Yeah, although I have no strategy for that.
Go on, what is it?
For the second point, if you have a Pharah and a Widowmaker, then you can actually go over the top of the main archway in that.
Yeah.
So if you can get your Pharah and Widowmaker up there, when they're on a respawn, you can pin them back in their spawn area while everyone else goes through and wins that. And that seems to work out more times than not.
Matty, that's a good. Have you found that to work in when you've actually played? Has it managed to actually pay off?
Yeah, most times. Like, you do need 2 people. Like, you need your Pharah and you need your Widowmaker, and you kind of need to be on the same page. But if you can trap them in their spawn area, then it's all about getting the pick-offs, which mean they have to go back to their spawn, and then keeping them in the spawn that wins you the game.
The only bad point of that is that everyone on that map, there's always a Symmetra, and then she'll probably have a teleporter, and then you're fucked.
Yeah, but when it gets to the second point, there isn't that many places where you'd put a teleporter.
Yeah,
so
it's
you can
behind
kind
the
of
bloody wall or in the left, isn't it?
Yeah, but as soon as people get through onto the point, they should notice that and get rid of it.
Get rid of it. It's interesting, but like the first point, we were playing that and like that me and our first team, we did defend that. They never got on it once. Like we defended it, smashed. I was Symmetra, and they just. I did what you said. Hid this turrets in places. Just absolutely smashed them. They got nowhere near us. Then it was our turn to play, and we just couldn't get in either. What me and the person I was trying to do was we were both being Winstons and just trying to jump in. But then as soon as we jumped in, we just got fucking munched, and his shield is fucking useless.
What, Winston's?
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
It does a bit, like...
Well, every time I jumped in and put it down, it fucking did fuck all to protect me.
Well, that's because you've got to be... if they're in the bubble with you, then of course it's
yeah, I know. And his gun's shit as well. Can we get that in the open? His gun is shite. All beam weapons are shit.
But his point isn't to do damage, it's to be a distraction.
Exactly, but that's no problem. Like, when you're trying to be the distraction, no one else is coming in. And then you dies too quickly. Like, I was just dying left, right, and centre. It's like, if there's a Torbjorn and Zarya on there, then you're just dead straight away.
You've got to be mobile. Like, you can't just jump in and hit shit. You've got to jump in and keep jumping.
Yeah, but his thing doesn't last that long, does it? Or do you mean just normal jump?
Just normal jump. Just, like, beat up, down, left, right, move everywhere, just so that they can't get clean shots on you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, the idea is that you should have some backup when you're on Winston.
Well, exactly, and I think that's where it'll die. I don't know what it's like on PC, because obviously I think the player base on PC is obviously a bit more committed to this type of thing, but on console I think it'll live and die. I think people get bored of it because people aren't communicating, and I love it. I think it's brilliant, and it's so much better with friends, because just that bit of communication that you get with just, even like I said, just one more person, you can start being tactically and trying to coordinate stuff, even if it is quite, not as that complex a tactic. It's literally just jump in and see what you can do. But I think it'll die. Hopefully it lives, because I think it's quality. But I think it might die on the fact that there isn't much of a progress hook. If you're not that into the game, there's not much for you, is there really? Which
it's all about the loot.
Exactly. Well, that doesn't matter to me. But the loot, you don't earn the loot, do you? You just get it every now and then. It's not about. You don't get gratification for your actions. Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's not. Is it? Is it just one? It's not. They don't give it per level, do they? Or is it one per level at some point during the level?
Yeah, it's a box per level.
Exactly. That's not that gratifying, though, is it, for people who would?
Why not?
I don't know. Because it doesn't really reward you with in-game stuff. It's just cosmetics, isn't it?
But what else would it reward you with? I don't like.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not calling it because I don't care. But I think people who need that type of stuff, that gratification, that stuff to know they're progressing, I don't think they'll get it. If
there's
going to
be
you know what I mean?
A ranked mode coming back soon, like July, I think they've said.
Okay.
Which will give kind of that progression-y type thing, I think.
Okay.
It's kind of like Dota has the MMR and LoL has ELO and shit like that.
Mhm. What is it? Just so that you fight people your level?
Yeah, kind of like improved matchmaking, but I don't know the exact specifics of it because I didn't play it when it was in the closed beta. And so I haven't done any research on it, but I would imagine it would be like you're like for Dota, ranked is you do 10 matches, then you get given a number, and then every time you win, you get like plus 25 MMR, and every time you lose, you get like minus 25 MMR. And like the higher MMR, the better you're considered to be.
Okay, that is a
So
point.
I imagine it would be similar.
Mm-hmm. I think with the team stuff, I think if you get put on a shit team, you're fucked, really, aren't you? You need people to be working for the objective, and you need if people are still experimenting and don't know how to use a character or something, then you're pretty much fucked, really. If you've not got at least I'd say over half the team doing what their jobs well, you're probably fucked unless the other team has the same problem.
I don't think the matchmaking is that bad, at least not on PC.
Well, I don't know. I was stuck in a few levels where I was the highest player, and I was like level 14. I was hit the highest by quite a distance, and it wasn't going well, and I was getting quite annoyed because I don't know. This game's making me quite competitive. I was never been really one to get that frustrated at shooters and stuff, but I've been punching the table every time I've died in this. You're
an angry player. God, angry players are the worst.
I don't know. It's just because, I've been quite abusive as well. I'm ashamed to admit.
I'm glad I'm not playing with you now.
I was getting annoyed. Like when you're going to kill cam, well, you know, when you spectate someone in the brief minutes when you're dead, and you see people not fucking doing anything, it's just so infuriating. It's like you're not playing, you're just literally standing on a roof miles away, shooting arrows at someone that isn't even there. Like, what are you doing? Get into the fucking objective and try and keep it, try and hold it. It's just so annoying. Like, I've been trying to play Mercy a lot actually during the its release, and I'm quite good at. I think I do the job of heal. You know her ult where she brings people back to life.
Yeah,
I did that. I was on the Russian map. And I did that. I brought 4 people back to life, and literally as I brought them back to life, a Junkrat on the opposite team had his ult, and he just sent it in and blew us all straight up again.
nice.
I think he'd killed everyone in the process. So I think I'd given him like a 9 kill thing in like 2 minutes or whatever. But it's
That's
like
some good Mercy play.
I do like it a lot. There's a lot of character to it and personality and stuff. And do you think it has the legs on console? It probably does on PC already, but do you think it
No,
will survive on
console it'll die. Like, I had this conversation with someone who recently is deceased on Twitter, and he said, like, I tweeted out saying how good it was, and he was just like, shit, is it really that good? And I was like, yeah, but I'm hung on PC, and you won't be on PC, and I feel like it'll be dead. And then he's just like, oh yeah, I heard you talking about it on one of the preview videos that we did, and he was just like, that's kind of when it twigged that I probably wouldn't buy it, because it'll have like a shelf life of, he said, like a month. I think that might be a bit harsh. I kind of reconsidered my stance a bit. I can see this doing quite well until the end of August, like player count wise.
I think it might stay long until when the Call of Duty start coming out in the battlefields, and then they take everyone away again. I think this, unlike what Evolve had and maybe Titanfall, I think this will have a big enough player base that's loyal to it and will stick around for a bit to make it like still playable every time you go in. I don't think it'll die. I just don't think it. And then it might be even better for that lower player base, because if they have like a bit of lower player base, then all the people still there are playing it because they like it and because they know how to play it. So it might lead to it being a better game.
I think it won't last long at all on the console. I think it won't be an Evolve death, because that is like properly dead. You'll still be able to get a game. I just don't think the player base will be quite there to give it legs and to have it as a sort of equal matchmaking system. I think that
maybe
like 4 months down the line, I think getting an equally matched game could be quite interesting on console. On PC it'll be fine. There'll still be like millions of players on PC every day for the next 4 years. But I think console is going to be an interesting thing to watch.
Yeah. I think it'll be, as I say, I think it'll be interesting to come back in like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, see how it's still going, see how many players are playing, see how, how the player base is and all that. Greg, I know you're like, in a, of 2 minds whether to play Doom or get Overwatch or any.
I was told to buy Doom first because I was told that I would like Doom a lot better because it's fast paced. I didn't like the beta of Doom, to be totally honest, but like watching single player videos, I'm like, I fucking need it. Like, I need Doom. Like Overwatch, I can understand what you're saying when it comes to like dying a death on console. Like I can totally understand that it's going to be like big on PC because like PC games, they just kind of live forever, especially with Steam. Everyone seems to be on them for so long. But on console, I feel like they kind of, there's a lot of like games coming out on PC, but it seems like the console kind of market is just so packed that there's always like a big game coming out every like 2 weeks. So it gets like,
it always seems like
weeks.
the new shiny thing move on type thing. It's like it's been a week since Uncharted 4, two weeks since Uncharted 4 came out.
I know, and like I don't remember it. Like I don't think about it, and it's kind of sad because like these developers put in like years of work and stuff like that, millions of pounds sometimes, into making these games, and then within like 2 weeks, that's them out the spotlight. No one wants to like talk about them anymore. The only time
do you think Twitter leads itself to that though as well? How conversation moves quickly, and then because conversation moves quickly, so like the media obviously have to play new games because that's their job, and then because the media moves on quickly, everyone else wants to move on quickly. Who's like friends with the media wants to move on quickly, so they're in the conversation. And it's that thing that just keeps everything moving at like rapid speed, and no one really. I think the only game that people have like really like lingered on in next gen is probably Bloodborne. People still talk about Bloodborne religiously.
I still talk about it religiously. But like it's sad because these games there's so much money goes into them, and then within like they don't get talked about. They get 2 weeks, don't get talked about, and then the next time they get talked about is at like the end of the year when it's game of the year, and everyone's like, "That's my favorite game of the year." But they only played it for like 2 weeks, so it's kind of weird. It's a weird one, and I feel bad for the developers, but I suppose if they're getting like they'll still get the sales, they'll get the money, but it's just not the longevity I think they want. But I mean, they're still making the money, getting the good reviews and stuff like that. So I don't think it really harms them as greatly as I would think.
See, for me, like because I do esports, I kind of don't get this as much as you guys seem to do, because the pressure isn't on me to play all the new games and know all the new games and shit like that. So
you just need to learn the stuff in your domain, don't you?
Yeah, the only things that I have to keep up with are games that have been out for years, like bar Overwatch.
Yeah.
And so like I've been playing XCOM 2 recently. That's been out a few months. I went back and played Trackmania Turbo. That's been out for at least a month by the time I got to it, if not more.
Oh, it's been out for ages.
Yeah. Adam sent me a copy of The Crew the other day, so I'm gonna play that. I was
going to ask if you played that, because I remember you asking for it. Have you not dug in yet?
I haven't got to it yet, but like I'm away tomorrow, Friday, and then I'm going to get back, and I think I'm just going to play The Crew all weekend.
Ooh, that's fun.
It does seem like the pacing on PC is a lot different. Like, in terms of the market, it seems like everyone just kind of is a bit more chill on PC. Like, they don't rush through all these, like, releases as fast as they can. Oh, I say that. I just bought Splatoon, like, I don't know if you heard me, like, typing, but I was buying Splatoon on Amazon. So that's how throwback, because, like, I played it I played it for, like, a couple of hours at my boyfriend's house, and I was like, I fucking need it, so I ended up buying it. Anyway, sorry, Mike, I was just interrupted.
PC is very fast-paced with the amount of games that come out. Like, Steam is at the ridiculous stage where there are so many games coming out per day that you can't keep up with them all.
Yeah.
I think it's because... I think the key thing is that because I do esports, and that is my, like, job. Esports is how I make my money, so they're the only things that I really have to... Like, I only have to keep up with. Whereas, like, you guys and more traditional games journalists sort of have to be excited about every new
you
thing
have to be on the pulse
out.
of everything, or otherwise you're like, you don't know what's about everything or whatever.
It's like I still do stuff like that, but a lot of my stuff is very far in advance pre-release coverage. So like the Gran Turismo thing, it's like chances are when that comes out, I'm not going to play that on launch day, but because I don't need to. But I might go play it 6 months down the line, and I do quite a lot of stuff like that helps me out, so that I don't kind of miss out on shit. Like The Crew I've wanted to play, so I'm going to go back and play that. Uncharted I want to play, but I'm going to wait until it drops in price, because I'm a tight bastard. So
no, that's fair. I feel like because when you're a journalist who has to like cover everything, the whole spectrum, like if you miss something, then there's no going back, because if you go back, then you're going to get
you're going to get knocked off your feet by like everything else that's coming.
There's so much of 2015, like so many. I feel like it's the cool indie games that are like £15 or whatever that you want to try, but you want to wait for the coming down in price, that you just end up getting tossed to the wayside until there's like a Christmas sale or whatever. It's like everything I didn't play in 2015 is probably gone now, and I need to like make a list of the games of the year of 2016 to make sure I've played them all by the time we come to the Game of the Year podcast and all that type of stuff. So unless I'm reviewing something, I'm literally the only things I'm playing. Obviously, I always play Witcher because that's my baby. But otherwise, I'm always trying to like. I'm not going to go back and finish Metal Gear Solid 5 now because it's last year and there's no point. And I didn't really get on with it anyway, even though it's amazing. So I've got to play stuff like I've been playing this week, like Far Cry Primal. I've got to go and play Doom. I've got to play Uncharted. I've got to play Ratchet and Clank and stuff like that. I need to play, like, get up
like
to date
from
with
this
year.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's kind of sad actually, because like a lot of the games, like I haven't played anything from like 2015. I don't think. Oh, apart from Splatoon, a bit like shut up. But with stuff like that, like I feel bad because Metal Gear Solid like was a great game, but I don't think I'll finish it either because I got to like the final mission and then just kind of stopped playing it, and I was like. I came into like this year. I actually think I did start playing it again this year for a bit, but then I just stopped playing it again. So I was like, I mean, third time lucky, but I can't be fucked playing it for a third time. So there's just too many other things to play. Like my list of shame, it's not a list of pile of shame. Sorry, it's just getting longer and like longer every day. I've
still got Valiant Hearts on my PlayStation, and I keep saying I'm not deleting it because I will complete it at some point. It's like I'm just not going to complete it. So just stop. Speaking of new stuff, Lord, have you seen the new trailer for Witcher?
Nope.
No,
no
I
guess.
haven't seen it yet. You asked me this last week and I said no.
There's another new one.
Fucking seen it. Oh no, there was another one. Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
Good.
I know you're so hyped for it.
You should see my smile like right now.
The reviews are quite good though. Like what's out there now? Like what the reviews that just now, they're quite good.
Well, yeah, all the reviews on PC have come out and everyone's loving it, and I can't wait to get my hands on it on the PlayStation and review it that way. Because oh my days, like it looks like it runs so much better than the actual game as well, and it looks a lot prettier. Like as if it could get much prettier, but it's so good. Anyway, we were talking about Overwatch. Stubbsy, what is your favourite character and least favourite character?
It's a good question, that is.
You can name as many as you want as your favourites and your least favourites.
I think Tracer's firmly established up there as one of my favourites. I still really like Lucio.
Can't get hold of Lucio on me.
May as well.
May pisses me off when you play against her. She's so fucking annoying when she freezes you.
Yeah. I think they're probably my three favourites. Like, I enjoy a Hanzo now and again, but I wouldn't class him as like a hero I'd be happy to play every game. Least favourites, I think McCree, I'm still not a fan of.
Yeah, I don't get people looking like McCree. He's so dull. Like, even though he's one of the coolest looking and sounding, it's high noon. I'm sure they've added a line, right? I don't know if you've noticed this, but was his starting line at the start of matches always, it's high noon somewhere in the world?
I have no idea.
I'm sure they've added that after the beta because everyone's taking the piss out of him because he always says high noon no matter what time it is. And it became a meme. I'm sure they've done that. Who else did you not quite fond of?
I think Soul don't really like Torchborn. And Bastion I just haven't played because it's Bastion. But that's mostly because other people end up playing Bastion if you actually need a Bastion. So I play the more fun things where you can actually move.
See in Overwatch. Sorry, just like it might be a stupid question, but like, can like more than one person on a team go with the same character?
Yeah, and it's fucking annoying when they do. When you play a team that has like 2 Torbjorns, 2 fucking Soldier 76s, and then 2 tanks or whatever, it's fucking well annoying.
It sounds like you need a kind of like broad range of like a bit of everything really to win.
Yeah, it encourages you in like the screen when you select the characters. If it says like you'll pick a team, then it'll tell you that there's no tanks, so you need a tank, or there's too many snipers, there's too many offensive characters, not enough defensive characters. It like tells you what you need for like a well-rounded team. But anyone can be what they want. It is, but people can be what they want, and like if you like, there's a map called Anubis, which is Egypt, and both of the choke points, if defended well, are fucking just impossible to get to, pretty much. And like I was playing a game before then, and there was 2 Torbjorns and then 2 Symmetras, which are both characters that have turrets. So they literally just turreted the whole. There's one door you go through to get to the objective, and they've turreted all of it, and it was impossible to get through. And then that's just. See, like Stubbsy will explain why it's good that they can have character of the same, more than one character of the same. You could do that now if you want.
I mean, we've talked about this before. I know we have multiple times.
Yeah,
but it's basically so that you could like certain strategies work when you have multiples of different characters, and they look cool as fuck. Like Winston is your big monkey, basically a melee character that can jump in and smash the shit out of people. And he's very like if you have multiple Winstons, that's a very good setup for wasting time, which is very important in Overwatch because it's a time-based objective. So shit like that is why they allow it, and it just adds that extra bit of competitive depth, which I think we'll see quite a bit when it becomes like when the esports start picking up.
Yep.
But I can see why people think it's a bit.
I just wish that's fine that, but I wish you couldn't have 2 Torbjorns or 2 Bastions.
But you can't place a restriction on one character.
I know you can't, but it's just fucking annoying. I'm just being butthurt about it, but it's so annoying. Like,
but there's ways to counter.
There is, but you need to get close to him to be able to counter him most of the time, unless you're being a sniper, and so you just can't.
Well, like Bastion is like snipers counter him, Roadhog counters him, Tracer can counter him if you get behind. Pharah, if you go up in the air
and just blow her up.
Yeah, like Pharah in the air works quite well. So there's loads of counters. You just
it does, but you have to be accurate, and if you're not accurate, they'll just blast you away instantly. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier for them to just kill you than it is to counter. And then when there's 2 of them, when there's like 2 Torbjorns, when, you know, there's two turrets and then there's two guys running about and shooting them and fixing the turrets, it can be fucking tough stuff to get rid of them. Especially
you've just got to work as a team to get around.
Exactly, and that on at least console doesn't happen that much because people just don't like working as teams.
So what you're saying is everyone else that plays Overwatch in console is an utter dickhead apart from you.
Yes, that is exactly what I am saying. But with
You're
my
sounding
favourite
like
character,
a Dota player.
maybe I should give that a whirl then and just abuse everyone. I've always had like I'm just thoughts of just going on Dota and just literally being shit just to see everyone screaming at me. Just like, I don't know what I'm doing, just gonna stand here, Paul, and just watch them, listen to them scream at me for the lols. But I've never had the time really. I think my favourite character, I think Tracer. You won me over on Tracer. I've started to get a hang of her now. She's like the one attacking character I really like, and I can do Soldier 76, but I don't particularly like. And Farah's alright as well at times, but I don't like McCree or Reaper. Or what's the other one? Who's the other attack? And that might be all. And then I've come around on Mercy a bit. She's cool, but obviously she's weak as anything when it comes to actual combat, and she can't really do objectives with her. And then Hanzo, I think Hanzo's pretty cool. He's a sniper, so he's good for long distance, but he can combat quite well at short distances as well. And then my least favourites, I really can't control Lucio. I can't get the hang of it. And I don't really like I said, McCree or Reaper either, because I find the guns are like too slow fire rate and don't have enough bullets, and I just end up getting munched before I can do anything with them.
It's because you suck.
There is that. I feel like I either need speed or like a distance weapon. I feel that's what it is. And I say speed, but I contradict myself because I don't like Lucio that much either. It's a weird one. I do feel like I don't like as many characters as I do like, but hopefully, like you say, I'll come around on it in time. So, hey, Greg, are you ever going to get it, you think, or are you just going to hold it out and just get Doom instead?
I don't know. I was thinking about it. I don't know. I was watching videos. It does look pretty good. It looks kind of cartoony, which is kind of weird. It kind of.
It looks fucking amazing.
Realistic. Yeah, it does look really good. I don't know. We'll see. I just got a news story through, right? I don't know if I should really talk about it, but we'll talk about it anyway. So I just got an email, right? And this announcement is going live on Twitter in 20 minutes, so it's not embargoed or anything, but it's from OpenCritic, and they say, is Metacritic sourcing from OpenCritic? So they think, like, there's a load of evidence here, but it says that they predict, not they don't predict, but they assume, or they've worked out somehow using this thing called Horseman, like making little like changes and seeing if someone's copying them, seeing if Metacritic are kind of taking their like sourcing and like their scores and stuff like that from OpenCritic, and apparently they are, and they're not very very happy about it.
Get away! Why?
And it's like it's really the weirdest email I've ever got, because I was just reading it like as you were talking, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And it says like we don't know whether we should be proud or outraged. When we look at Metacritic this morning and saw they had OpenCritic review data and information on their website.
Like,
it's kind of weird. It's a weird one.
But it's weird one. It's weird because OpenCritic have only been going, 3 months?
I know, and it seems like, but I think OpenCritic, I like the kind of layout of OpenCritic better. So it just seems to work so much better.
And it has like critic pages and stuff where you can see what they. It's not the best because they don't have everyone, like they don't have every game everyone's reviewing and stuff, and they still need to work on it and that type of stuff. But I think it's really cool. It's a cool idea, and I like it a lot better than Metacritic's like lookout, because doesn't Metacritic not have comments? But no, doesn't Metacritic have comment pages? But OpenCritic doesn't. If that's
OpenCritic has like critic pages, like your own, like if you write a review, you'll have a page on it.
Yeah.
Like we'll all have them as well on it, but
yeah.
Like I just think it looks so much better. But apparently they've worked it out that they're copying them and stuff like that. So I can't wait to see how this goes down on Twitter.
Yeah, it's
the
next outrage to go with, isn't it?
That's the scalding hot tea that I've served you. So that's all the drama from the email inbox.
See, for me, again, I do esports. I don't do that many reviews these days, so I genuinely do not give a fuck about either of them now.
Yeah, it's like I see you guys. It's not anything huge, but like I just thought it was kind of interesting.
No, it definitely is. It's weird, and it's gonna. I'm gonna have to get my fucking phone out and just be. Is it gonna 8:30? It's breaking then.
Well, what time did I receive it? I received it at 3 minutes past 8, so it'll be just about 8:30. I'm actually going to go and grab my phone, but it's like sitting over on the bed, and I know if I like try and reach it, I'm going to make loads of noise. So I've been kind of like just sitting staring at it for like the past 20 minutes.
It's going to be funny when that kicks off on Twitter, isn't it? It's just going to be the next breakdown on Twitter that happens, and it's actually been. Has it been fairly quiet recently? I feel like it's been quiet recently.
What, Open Critic?
No, as in Twitter on.
Twitter.
See, if you don't follow cunts, then it doesn't kick off.
Well, the hot topic this week has been spoilers.
Oh yeah, I saw. Like, what was that about, by the way?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but like who spoiled something?
I don't know, because I've not seen one person spoil anything. Like, I don't. Did you have a spoiler debate since we've got nothing else to talk about?
Yeah, but don't talk about the spoilers in Game of
Thrones.
Thrones.
Obviously not. I'm not going to say. Well, everyone's kicking off because this was revealed, right? But basically, something happened in Game of Thrones, and it was a thing that a hashtag started for, but the hashtag didn't trend. At least not when I was looking.
But yeah,
the episode
did know
leak.
What happened. But like, I'm scared to see it in case there's more.
No, don't say it. Don't even mention it.
That's for Geek of Thrones.
Correct.
keep for that.
Get on iTunes. But so there's a big thing happening in Game of Thrones, and obviously Game of Thrones airs in America at 9 o'clock on a Sunday, at 2 a.m. in England, and then again at 9 o'clock on the Monday in England. And so nerds like me stayed up till 2 a.m. and watched it like normal people, and was always watching Extreme Rules, which we'll talk about in Patreon. Don't worry, Stubbsy. So we knew what happened, and I was like, right, sweet. No, because I just don't take the risk. I want to know straight away. I don't want to be spoiled. But then, obviously, people got on Twitter the next day and obviously somehow saw spoilers for it. And then the great spoiler debate happened. Now, I don't think people should spoil stuff, obviously. But at the same time, Twitter is a public place, and tell people not to speak about stuff would be like telling them not to speak about stuff in like on a fucking tube platform or something.
Yeah, I understand. I get what you mean,
I heard someone it's the equivalent of like going to a cinema, and so you're going in as someone's coming out who's just watched the film, and obviously that's like it's a bit more extreme. Like people shouldn't really talk about the film as they're coming out, but like
people shouldn't talk about the film as they're coming out.
I know.
Is that an actual thing you just said?
No, I don't think they should, because that's what happens in cinema. But like I said, you've got to take it upon yourself to not hear the spoilers. Put your fucking fingers in your ears and go in. Don't listen to it.
Oh my god, man!
Well, I've never had that. Like I was going in to watch Captain America: Civil War, and I was going to like 10 o'clock screening or whatever, so there was no other films on. And as I was going in, everyone who's watched the last screening was just coming out and they were talking about it. So I was like, shit, it's going to get spoiled for me. I put my fingers in the ears, but like the equivalent.
Oh, Dan, I can just picture it. I can just picture it.
I was like, this isn't getting spoiled for me.
Oh god. Dan, you're some boy.
Thank you. But it's like the equivalent of what people are saying on Twitter as going, don't spoil it, would be like me going up to them in the public domain in a public place and telling them not to talk about it. So
yeah, but like. Having a conversation with your mate that you're walking out of the cinema with about the thing you just saw is slightly different to broadcasting a tweet to like 30,000 followers.
Well, yeah, obviously, and I still feel like it's a similar thing though, because Twitter is just the public, basically. Like anyone could hear it.
Yeah, but if you're having a conversation when you're walking out of the cinema, 30,000 people aren't going to hear that.
Right.
If you tweet something
people
out,
literally going to watch it
see
still
that.
goes. It doesn't matter the number, does it? It matters the effect. I feel like
it matters.
I'm not defending it.
What
I'm going to say is people shouldn't put spoilers onto Twitter and stuff, and like in the immediate aftermath before anyone's even watched it. But at the same time, if you don't want something to be spoiled for you, just don't fucking go on Twitter until you've seen the thing.
I know, but then like I haven't seen the last like 5 weeks of Game of Thrones, so I've not to go on Game of Thrones for 5 weeks. Not to go on Twitter for 5 weeks because I've not seen 5 weeks of Game of Thrones.
Has it stuff been spoiled for you?
Yeah, like I saw it was actually
Everything,
spoiled for me.
Just the latest thing?
Just the latest one. It was something like I saw something on Facebook. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone else. I'm not going to be that wanker. But I don't know who it was. It was just one of those stupid fucking like accounts, like one of those accounts on Facebook that just tweets memes, not tweets, but like sends out memes all the time. And I was like, are you fucking kidding? Mm-hmm. I really should have watched it, to be quite honest, but it was the same like RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't know if any's watch it. I doubt it big time. But I found out who won that before like I had time to watch it, because within like fucking 2 minutes of it getting like aired in America, like every cunt on my fucking timeline had tweeted about it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, use actual fucking minds.
I just don't think that unless you go looking for spoilers, and unless like a fucking media account tweets out the fucking screenshots, which should never happen. That is being fucking stupid cunt.
Yeah, but it was like one.
I still think you went into him because at least the people I follow, I do not follow one person who spoiled Game of Thrones for me. Maybe they would have spoiled it for others if they'd not seen it straight away.
Yeah, I don't know how I ran into it, but it was just on Facebook. Like I did just run into it. Like I don't know why. Like I think someone, like one of my friends, had liked it or something, and I just saw it and I was like, oh, like try to scroll past it as fast as I could, and I already saw what happened, and I was like, you fucking bastards. But I actually don't know if it happened in the book, so I might have actually known about it before. But I don't know, actually, I can't think. I'm not going to see
Depends
it.
what you're on about, but we obviously can't discuss it. We have to be very cryptic, or else we'd spoil it. Which
yeah, I'll ask you after the podcast.
Yeah, you can do.
And we'll see.
So what's your take on the whole spoiler gate, Stubbsy?
See, no one that I follow has outright spoiled this week's Game of Thrones.
Same.
But the kind of meme culture that's become around it has been thrown around quite a bit. And while it's not a direct spoiler, it kind of does give you hints if you've seen any of like the memes that have come up out of it. So I mean, that's not too bad. Like I can deal with it because it's not outright spoilering it. But one thing that is kind of related to this that I do want to moan about, right? Is I was having a conversation with someone who works for another esports website, and like we speak semi-regularly on Twitter, and we were just like having an conversation about spoilers and how shit like that shouldn't really happen, kind of like we've been doing now. And then out of nowhere, someone that I work with on another site who has like never tweeted me and seemingly never tweeted the other person that I'm talking to just comes in and like enters the conversation as if they've been in it the whole time. Just like, that is not cool. If I'm midway through a conversation with someone, don't come in and add nothing just so that you can try and get us to notice you. Just like, I know who you are, I follow you, but like, that's just been a dick. Like, fucking stay out of my conversations, you bastard.
What was the conversation?
It's just been a fan.
So was it a debate?
It's not, because that person is one of my editors.
Oh.
He was like a really obsessed fan, I don't know.
So was it positive? Was it like just a debate that Ian like put his opinion into?
Like, we were having a conversation basically saying how spoilers are a bit shitty, and then we kind of like pseudo-talked about Game of Thrones and stuff like that. And then he just came in basically echoing what we both said, like adding nothing. And
so he didn't add to the debate.
I see that a lot on Twitter.
No, and I think he was clearly trying. Like, this other person I was speaking to is like a semi-big deal in esports. Like, they work for one of the they work for one of the biggest websites in esports, and I think they're like one of the editors. And so he was like, I feel like he was really just trying to get them to notice him, and trying to use me as a mediator to like do that, so that he could get in and look like he was like being normal. Just like, no, fuck off, get the fuck out of this conversation.
Right, I agree with how you're framing it of how this happened, which sounds quite shit. But I like the fact that anyone can join into a conversation as long as like. If it's like a debate and anyone can throw their hat into the ring, I think, and then like if it's a funny conversation, anyone can just join in. Like we had the one the other day when I was talking about using you as a citation on my essay for media.
Yeah.
And then, I was like, I can't.
Yeah, but people came in and offered something to that conversation and wanted to be a part of the conversation. This cunt just clearly wanted to get noticed by this other person.
Right,
and
I
was
can
being
imagine
a
that
dick.
shit.
So you can fuck off if you're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like that happens a lot on Twitter. Like I see that a lot on Twitter. But like I was gonna say something else. I can't fucking remember what it was. Yeah, I see it a lot on Twitter. I'll remember what I was gonna say and it'll come back to me. But I don't know. I can't fucking.
I'll tell you what annoys me with Twitter though. When you like, when someone asks like a question or someone's like opening a debate or something, and you tweet them, and it's like a semi, like I say, a quite a big person. They don't follow you back, but you follow them because they're like someone in the industry or whatever, and they don't reply like ever. It's like, mate, I'm just trying to be fucking polite and have a conversation.
I see
don't
that
reply to
well.
them tweets. I just don't. There's very few people that I actually speak to on Twitter, and most of them are people that I've either met or know like through working with them or shit like that. Like I don't speak to people who like generally don't know who I am, which sounds a bit big-headed, but
yeah, I get
it.
I
understand that because like I don't tweet like. Or there's like all these people, like all these editors and stuff like that, and like I suppose I was gonna say big shots, or like big shots, like they're just like other like journalists and stuff like that, and like I don't tweet if I didn't know them or like have kind of come into contact with them ever before. Like I might follow them. I don't know. It depends, but like I wouldn't like go out my way to tweet at them or like try and start a conversation with them because like I don't see a point. And like I was gonna say like I don't really tweet my opinion on anything really on Twitter because. Like, I don't, like, I know because when I tweet my opinion, someone's going to tweet their opinion at me, and, like, I don't really care to see it.
debates and stuff.
Like, that sounds, like, really, like, selfish, but there's like sometimes I just like I want to just express myself and not have like, but you're wrong because of this.
Sometimes it's annoying when you're just venting and you're like, "Oh, this is fucking shit," and someone's posted like, "Well, actually," it's like, mate, just
I know
I don't need this today.
It happens every time. Every time I tweet my opinion, something like someone will tweet something, and I just be like, you know what? Fuck, I'm never fucking tweeting my opinion again.
Yeah, Twitter ruined me like politically. I just can't be fucking bothered anymore. Like
No,
I nearly got into politics during the Scottish referendum. Like I was into
you should have. Oh, you should have, because if you'd voted yes, then
well, I was like yes side. I was
me.
like proper into all the old politics and that, and then I just got destroyed, and I've not been into it since. I just can't be fucking bothered, especially with everything at the minute. Like, Stubbsy finally got there for you. Especially with stuff with the EU referendum and that. I just can't be bothered. How the fuck have we actually naturally got to where you wanted the podcast to go? That's
because
quite surprising.
I've been like telepathically sending airwaves down the headset through the mic.
And you know what?
So
this
that you
could
can
literally
talk
link
about
to a
the
Game
EU
of Thrones
referendum.
spoiler as well. Like the way you described that then could link to a Game of Thrones spoiler. It's all linked.
Shut up! Shut up!
It's a flat circle. What a life this is. What a podcast.
Oh god.
What else can we talk about for 10 minutes? Shall we? I don't think it's point
EU
talking about
referendum?
E3 now. Shall we? Do we do that next week? E3 predictions and stuff.
I
Depends
don't know.
when you're
I
recording
just-
next
I
week,
just
because I
haven't
might not be
thought.
here.
Well, I'll try and do it on a Wednesday for you
Yeah, I can make that work.
because
I think.
isn't it next Friday we fuck off, or is it the Friday after?
No, it's the Friday after. I've
Friday
got
after.
event tomorrow, Friday, event next Thursday, Friday, and then we go to E3 the following Friday.
Let me look at my calendar. Oh my god, it's nearly here. Fuck me, this is scary shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
we'll
can't,
do
I
I
was
can't believe
looking-
you go to E3 like so soon. It's really weird how it's like came upon us so fast.
So, do we do E3 next week, or do we do it the week after before you go to E3? Are we even doing a podcast that week? Should we not bother?
I would probably do it next week because
Do
I
it
feel
next week, and then we can
yeah.
sort of see what the week after brings.
Okay.
Because
like
I know I'm going to
there'll
be busy
some
as
ones
fuck.
before. Yeah.
Okay, so if we what else do you want to talk about for the last 10 minutes of this here podcast then?
The EU
What, we've got-
referendum, we've
Yeah,
we've
duh.
Yeah, then are you in or out, all Stubbsy?
Mate, I
Ben-
mean, like, why can someone give me a good argument for being out of the EU?
No.
I can't
Exactly.
because
I've
saw-
yet to hear one.
I'm also
So-
in, but I like to keep my mind open. I like to broaden all horizons and get different points of view of everyone. So I follow a few people who are a bit more, right, whatever. And the opinions I've basically heard or have read are that it opens us up to business. It can lets us be more open for trade with other countries outside of the EU,
That's
and
not
lets
true.
us do our this. I don't know if it's true or not. This is all I know. Like do our own deals with countries like China or India or like Norway and shit like that. We can do our own. We can be responsible for our own trading more, rather than the EU govern it or whatever. And then there's stuff about immigration where it's like, because some places have been so... I think there was a documentary on BBC last night called The Last Whites in the East Ends, and it's on about mass immigration and how bringing so many new people into close-knit communities has destroyed them and stuff like that. So I think that's obviously it's always going to be a big argument with immigration. I think they're like the two main ones
Right,
that are
the
linking
first,
to it.
the first one I'm going to touch on. Like, the US I'm sure the US has said, like, if the UK leaves the EU, then it'll take like years for a new trade deal to be established if there is ever one. So,
Yeah,
like,
I
shit
think I
like
saw that as well.
That is a bad idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the immigration thing, right? I live in Boston, in Lincolnshire, which is like the
I live near
most.
Bolton.
It's the most segregated town in the country, or some bollocks like that. And we're also the murder capital of the UK. And the immigration is so much in Boston that fucking Newsnight came down here like 2 weeks ago, did a live news night from like our big ass church that was all about immigration. And
Okay, I think I heard about that actually.
like, I tweeted a lot
yeah,
about it.
that might be it.
Like, the people that they got in the audience were like they just basically got effectively random people off the street to go sit in the audience, and I don't think it was a coincidence that only I think 2 people were pro staying in the EU in the audience, because everyone else was going, "Oh, the fucking foreigners are coming over here taking me fucking jobs. I've got to be on fucking benefits." Just like, no, they're not, because you would never go pick cabbages for a day in your life. You class yourself
Exactly.
as too high for that. So
I know.
like, they come over here, they do that, and then it's just like, "Oh, the foreigners are ruining our town." Just like, no, that's
I
not
know.
true, because if the foreigners weren't in our town, half the shops in our marketplace wouldn't exist, and so our town would basically be dead.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's the area that I live in, and so I would not be surprised if the area of Boston like is 95% pro leave the EU. Like even people that I class as friends and normal regular people that like I work with, and like even some of the kids' parents from the football teams who are like normal human beings are just like, oh yeah, I'm voting to leave because like I want control of my borders. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I want
Oh
my
my
country
God.
back. Shit like that. It's just, yeah, it's the line they tread between making like genuine points on like how it can like be bad on society, and mass immigration it can be if it's done incorrectly, which over large parts, you can tell the attitude of so many people that has done some of it wrong. Like, I don't want to, I don't really know these arguments. Like I said earlier, I don't fucking care about politics anymore. I got ruined from this, so I don't really study it. I should. But from what I've grasped, like, immigration has obviously been bad to some places because some places have been destroyed, wasn't it? It's not because of the people coming in. It's just immigration in general that's ruined the community. And it's not being racist or anything like that. It's just bringing a new influx of people to a new place where it already has people. Sometimes frictions happen and it's bad, and I think that's where they toe the line between making that reasonable argument for some places between that and then just being racist cunts,
Trust me, Mike, see, if your like constituency votes to leave, or like votes to leave the EU, and you are like a yes voter, like you actually cannot walk through like your constituency again without looking at people and going, you voted like differently what I voted, because I voted yes, and the like Scottish referendum, and like it turned out my constituency in general voted no, and I was like, it was like walking through like a nest of like vipers. I was like, you fucking
Surrounded
snakes,
by
like
snakes.
you fucking traitors and stuff like that. It was so funny. But, like,
I know people in my area are horrible, deplorable, racist people. Like,
Right.
it's been generally accepted for the last 5 years that any English people in Boston are horrible, horrible racists. So,
that sounds like fun.
yeah, it's been buzzing. Like, the amount of times BBC News has come down just to do a story on racism that isn't even about Boston, but they come down anyway because we hate foreigners so much. It's amazing.
I do wonder what my constituency will do. My constituency is Lee, which is Andy Burnham, the Labour MP.
I was going to say my MP is this person, but you won't know who my fucking MP is. Cause
You must know who Andy Burnham is, though, yeah?
I feel like I've heard the name.
Yeah, he's the guy who got justice for the 96 and all that jazz. Yeah, he's my MP, and I'm intrigued to see where ours goes, because while Atherton and Lee and all that isn't that heavily affected by immigration, I'd say it's one of them areas where it's older people and not exactly modern thinking, I'd say. So I'd be intrigued to see where that goes, actually. All exciting. So we all voted.
That, like,
Pardon?
the biggest problem with this referendum is that a lot of the people that are going to vote to leave have never left the fucking country.
Exactly.
Whereas for me, who, like, in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to 2 EU countries, and I don't have to get a visa because we're in the EU.
Yeah.
Like, if we leave, I actually have to go through the ball ache of getting a visa.
Yeah.
So, like, I do not want to do that. That's the fundamental reason why I want to stay in.
Exactly the same. Like, the EU and being able to travel wherever I want in the EU is a benefit of being in the EU, and thus that's why I want to stay in, because that's the only thing that directly affects me at this time.
That's like a big reason.
Yeah. It's the only thing that matters to me, so that's why I'd say stay. Even if, like, as someone who doesn't really care and hasn't really gone interested into it, that's the one effect that I know could have a serious effect on me.
Yep.
No. And that's what I care about, unfortunately. So
is it just me, or was it like the government? Like, obviously, the government is the Conservatives. Did they? Is it just me? I don't know. I don't know why I think this, but did they used to support leaving, and then they changed their mind, and then were like, everyone should stay. Like, you should vote stay.
And I think they've always
it's
been
kind of
stay,
like a 50-50 between most of the parties. Like, a lot of the Conservatives are pretty split. Like, some high-ranking people are like yes, and some are like no.
Because like, I thought their like official stance like before was they wanted to leave, or maybe it was just Boris Johnson, I don't know. But like, I thought their official stance before was to leave, and then after like a while, or like they realised and they had an epiphany or something that they wanted to stay, and then like, I mean, I've been getting like things through my door like almost every day, like stay in the EU, and like booklets and all that, and I'm like, you're actually going extra to like make
I'm
sure.
pretty sure the official line, like the official party line, like Cameron's always been saying, stay. But like I said, the pies are like split, and there's like civil war going on and all that jazz. It's interesting. It's certainly interesting. Unless there's any other points you want to make, I think we can leave that there and go and talking about WWE in the Patreon bit. Is that sound like a good plan, Stubbsy?
That sounds banging.
Sorry, Greg, you're not going to have much input, I'd imagine.
It's okay, I'll just sit and listen again.
You can keep on Twitter watch for us and see if the breakdown happens. It should have happened now if the news was broke.
No, it definitely has, because like actually as soon as we started talking about something else, I checked, and they actually have tweeted about it, but I don't know if Metacritic responded, but I just double check.
Right, you get on that and get us Rage Out update. But apart from that, this has been the God is a Geek podcast. Thank you very much for your listenership. If you want to find more of our lovely games writing on stuff like Overwatch, because my review will be incoming soon when I write it, you go to GodisaGeek.com and you get all lovely articles there. Go to youtube.com/GodisaGeek for all videos on gaming matters. And of course, there's Twitter at GodisaGeek, there's Facebook at GodisaGeek. You know what it is. And there's also, as Greg alluded to earlier, I, alongside Chris White, do a Game of Thrones podcast called Geek of Thrones. It's on the iTunes. Please go and listen to it. And this week's going to be a fucking Jesus Christ. I've got at least 7 pages of notes for this week. Fuck me, it was tiring going through that episode again. So there's going to be a lot of theories, and you've seen my theorising on the wall in the chat, haven't you, Greg?
Yes,
Mate, I've been obsessed with it. It's so good. You can get that, and of course you can follow Greg on Twitter at Greg Hill. You can follow Mike on Twitter at Mike Stubbsy. And I've not botched the outro. There's nothing else to say, is there, Stubbsy?
Patreon? Did you say Patreon?
Oh, of course, thank you. Patreon.com/GodisaGeek. Throw us a couple of quid just so we can do all more creative stuff for your amusement. And of course, if you are a Patreon backer, your half an hour extra segment will be coming right up, wherein me and Mike Stubbsy are going to be talking about Extreme Rules and the new brand split, which has me very, very excited. I'm very, very happy. So, now I don't think there's anything else to say at all, is there? No, I'll take that silence as confirmation. So, Greg, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Michael Stubbsy, would you please say and only say the words goodbye?
No.
Ha! Fucking stumped you there, haven't
I'm just not going to say it, so...
Say goodbye, you cunt.
No, I refuse.
No, don't be a dickhead, you're ruining the outro. Say it. It's goodbye from me. I'm going to fucking kill him. Silla.